Good morning. This is Dulia De Silva for Gold FM, bringing you your news in detail.
The news headlines on Gold FM.
In your news headlines, Hiru dominates Raigantelli's 2025. No month-end fuel price revision, says CPC. Commissioner General of Motor Traffic remanded. Pentagon preparing for ground operations in Iran. IRGC threatens to target Israeli and American universities in Middle East.
The top story on Gold FM.
The Hiru Media Network swept the Raigantelli's 2025 ceremony, with Hiru TV securing Best Television News Telecast of the Year and the television channel with the most audience reach accolades. The network's programming achieved significant recognition as Hiru Star took the award for media program with the most audience reach, while Paatakurulu was awarded the teledrama with the most audience reach. Further honours went to Matakame for Best Telefilm of the Year and Roshini Vijaysurya for Best Television News Presenter Sinhala. In the performance categories, Sajida Anthony and Michelle Delhara emerged as the most popular actor and actress for their respective roles in Paatakurulu and Ronsoya. Hiru TV's Paatakurulu teledrama actor Sajida Anthony won the teledrama actor with the most audience reach award, while Ronsoya teledrama actress Michelle Delhara was awarded the teledrama actress with the most audience reach. Hiru TV celebrated further success as Abhilasha Santushki claimed a Jury Merit Award for her portrayal of Gauri in the teledrama Pavi Inna Asai.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Chairman DJ Rajakarna confirmed that fuel prices remain unchanged as at the end of this month. Speaking at a press conference in Colombo, the chairman noted that officials are currently evaluating the suspension of the odd-even fuel distribution system. Plans also include a new QR-based method to streamline fuel issues for the agriculture sector and other specific groups. With the arrival of confirmed fuel tankers, the corporation guarantees a continuous and secure fuel supply across the island. These are some of the views expressed by the CPC chairman, and in the interest of clarity, we refrained from dubbing his remarks.
අප්‍රේල් මාසේ මේ නැව් ටික සම්පූර්ණම අපිට ලැබෙනවා. ඒක ගැන කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. මොකද ඒකක්වත් යුද්ධේ තියෙන කලාපෙන් නෙවෙයි ලෝඩ් වෙන්නේ. මේ ටික ගත්තට පස්සේ අපිට ඩීසල් යන්න පුළුවන් ලබන මාසේ මැද වෙනකන් කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැතුව. 92 පෙට්‍රල් යන්න පුළුවන් 6 වෙනි මාසේ මුල වෙනකන්. 95 පෙට්‍රල් යන්න පුළුවන් 6 වෙනි මාසේ මුල වෙනකන්. තව බොර තෙල් නැවක්. ඒක 6 වෙනි මාසේ ඉන්නේ. තව මේ මාසේ මැද එනවා බොර තෙල් නැවක්. ඒතකොට පිරිපහදුව වැහුණා. දැන් මේ තියෙන තත්ත්වය අනුව අපිට ආපහු මේ මාසේ ඉඳන් පිරිපහදුව දුවන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා.
මේ මාසේ අග ඉන්ධන මිල සංශෝධනයක් වෙනවද?
මේ මාසේ අන්තිමේ කියන්නේ දැන් හෙට අනිද්දා මිල සංශෝධනයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ ආපහු සංශෝධනය වෙන්නේ ලෝක වෙළඳපොලේ මිල ඒ තීරණත් එක්ක බලලා.
ලෝක වෙළඳපොලේ සැලකිය යුතු මට්ටමකින් ඉන්ධන මිල ඉහළ ගියා. ලංකාවේ ඉන්ධන මිල ඉහළ දාන්නේ නැහැ කියන අදහසක්ද ඔබතුමා කිව්වේ?
31 වෙනිදාට තෙල් මිල වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියන එක සහතිකය මට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඊළඟට කොච්චර කාලෙකින්ද තෙල් මිල වැඩි වෙන්නේ? ඒක අපිට අද සම්පූර්ණ පූර්වකථනය කරන්න බෑ. මේකේ දැන් කමාරු ගසා කන මිල සූත්‍රය. මේකේ ගසා කන්න කිසිම කැලලක් නැහැ. මේක ට්‍රාන්ස්පරන්ට්.
31 වෙනිදා සහ අප්‍රේල් පළවෙනිදා ඔත්තේ දින හැටියට ඉදිලා තියෙනවා. මේක ඉරත්තේ කට්ටියට බලපෑමක් වෙයිද?
අපි ඔත්තේ ඉරත්තේ දාන්නේ වෙන කිසි දෙයකට නෙවෙයි පොලිමනති කරන්න. දැනට දැනෙන විදියට අදම උනත් ඒක අයින් කරන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් හෙට කෝටා එක මාරු වෙනවා. ඒ සියල්ල තීන්දුව කරලා බොහෝ විට අපිට තීන්දුවක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔය ගොවීන්, දීවරයන් ඒ වගේ කට්ටිය අලුතෙන් හඳුන්ලා දෙන්න යනවා non vehicle QR එකක්. ඒක දැන් හදාගෙන යන්නේ. ඒක සම්පූර්ණ වුණාට පස්සේ ඒක කොහොමද ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ කියන එක පිළිබඳව ඉස්සරහට සම්පූර්ණ කියන්න. තනකොළ කපන මැෂින් එකට දක්වා යන්න පුළුවන් විදිහේ එකක් තමයි එකෙන් හදන්නේ.
Opportunities that exist for Sri Lanka are being highlighted by the Middle East conflict. That's according to economist Talal Rafi, who was speaking at a BMIT Economic Forum. First speaking on the impact of the war, Rafi was of the opinion that the immediate concern is one of endurance. He said while there are enough fiscal buffers to withstand a month or two of disruption, a prolonged crisis would be devastating. If oil prices average $100 over the next 6 months, it will drain $1 billion from national reserves. The pressure is compounded by the fact that the country spends $4.5 billion annually on just oil imports, which effectively cancels out the net earnings from major export sectors like tea, rubber and apparel. Furthermore, any instability in the Strait of Hormuz threatens 80% of the food supply for the region and essential commodities like fertilizer and sulfur. Rafi also warned that stability is fragile and that can be illustrated through history. Precedents in Mexico and Thailand show that even stable economies can collapse within months if they fail to reform. Rafi noted that the strategy moving forward must focus on integrating into global value chains, where multinational corporations drive over 80% of trade. Drawing inspiration of post-war Japan, he said that the goal should be to shut down unproductive, subsidized sectors and redirect those resources towards industries that generate dollar revenue. The year 2028 is seen as a critical juncture, as it marks both the return of debt repayments and a shift in the global political landscape that could bring fresh economic shocks. Getting to the opportunities presented by the war, Rafi noted that Sri Lanka's greatest permanent asset in this transition is its geography.
Not just with this crisis, but even without, we have a great opportunity. The first thing, without a doubt, would be ports. But the thing is, there are caps on foreign ownership. Some of the largest shipping companies may not be that willing to be junior partners to companies here. So that is a critical area which I have heard it from their own mouths. So once you do this, of course, we may think that firms here do it, but when you have it, for example, like hotels, when you bring luxury brands, they bring in the tourists themselves. Similarly, shipping has a great role, because right now, whether this crisis is resolved today, even if it is, and even if there is, for example, changes there permanently, the situation is not going to get back to normal. The Jebel Ali port, people will always look it as a risk factor. So this is an opportunity for Sri Lanka to capitalize on. Very, very critical, especially if we can get foreign people to operate ports. So countries develop because of ports. Dubai is an example, Singapore, and you look at Amsterdam, Netherlands, how did they grow? I mean, it's the ports. When you have ports and become one of the largest transshipment hubs, local firms here benefit supplying them. The other thing, just talking about ports and logistics, would be a airline hub. Now you see a third of flights come through that region. So right now, people may think twice, but then you have the airlines like Qatar, Emirates. Of course, what's happening right now at Makala is positive, but if we can make sure and pass the correct thing so that this can be something more permanent, that will be another great benefit for us. I always spoke about comparative advantage. So the three things, first thing, comparative advantage, port. This is not something that a country like Russia or anybody can. This is unique to us. Geography is not going to change.
The second pillar of this transformation is energy.
The second thing is renewable energy. $4.5 billion a year goes to importing oil. So if you take apparel, yes, we do export around $5 billion, but inputs to that comes to $3 billion. So the net exports of apparel is only $2 billion. And you take tea, rubber, coconut, all of these come around $4.5 billion or below it. The income from most of our key sectors is just going to importing oil. And if it stays at $100 for the next 12 months, I mean, it's going to pass around close to $7 billion. In offshore wind energy itself, according to the World Bank, we have in excess of our demand so that we can export it. Solar, of course, we have the potential. Hydro, you know that we have one of the highest river densities in the world. Biomass. One thing is when you have excess energy, how do we export it? One thing is definitely hydrogen. You can convert it into hydrogen form, maybe send it off to Singapore, others, that's expensive. But the easiest way, which I've always said, is connect the grid to India. And they are rising. For example, South India, it's $1 trillion economy. According to Deloitte, Tamil Nadu is going to be $1 trillion economy by 2030. And if you look at the way they are growing, Tamil Nadu itself by the mid-2040s can have a larger economy than Russia. So here again, you have a energy-hungry South India. So we can become a net energy exporter.
The third pillar Rafi spoke about was tourism.
Third thing is, of course, tourism. There also we have a unique advantage. Here again, the critical thing, of course, the infrastructure. Because one of the things is they say airline connectivity from Europe, you can get a ticket to Bangkok at a much cheaper rate. Here, how do we do that? That is one area. We always talk about getting the high-end tourists. Of course, our local brands are doing a fine job, but when you have very high-end international hotels coming in, they bring their own clients in. And other thing is, of course, the infrastructure, the road connectivity, others. I mean, most people who come on a very limited trip of 5 or 6 days, sometimes you want to go to Trincomalee, 7 hours, 8 hours. So the expressways. There are very, very good areas in Sri Lanka that are still unexplored. Extend the expressway all the way to Putlam or Mannar. No little hurdle because the land is there. Then you open up things to Vilpattu, Kalpitiya. So I think those 3 areas would be the opportunity.
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, Andrei Rudenko, will arrive in Sri Lanka on Tuesday. The visit coincides with the 11th session of the bilateral political consultations between the two nations. Both parties expect to discuss a wide range of diplomatic and economic issues to strengthen long-standing ties. The Mavadagama Pilasa Magistrates Court remanded Commissioner General of Motor Traffic Kamal Amrasinghe until tomorrow, following his arrest by the CID. Officials took him into custody in Colombo 7 after investigations linked him to the illegal alteration of a chassis number and the preparation of a fraudulent registration for a cab. The Valana Central Anti-Corruption Unit initially seized the vehicle on the 5th in Mavadagama, leading to a probe into the missing registration files. Kamal Amrasinghe, a senior officer in the Sri Lankan Administrative Service, assumed his current role in April 2025. After previously serving as Provincial Ministry Secretary.
Now for some news in brief.
The Department of Meteorology says showers or thundershowers will occur in parts of Sabragamal province and the districts of Colombo, Galle, Kalutara and Maltara after 2 p.m.
The business news on Gold FM.
A group of 66 World Trade Organization members agreed to implement the world's first baseline set of global digital trade rules, bypassing the usual requirement for full consensus. The agreement, which covers approximately 70% of global trade, aims to simplify cross-border electronic transactions by establishing common standards for e-signatures, e-invoicing and paperless trading. Participating nations, including the UK, Japan and members of the EU, opted for this interim arrangement following years of frustration over obstructions by a small number of dissenting members, notably India. While proponents hail the move as a historic step to make trade faster and more secure, the United States remains a notable absentee as the administration continues to review its position.
International news on Gold FM.
Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps issued a threat to target Israeli and American universities in the Middle East, following an attack on the University of Science and Technology in Tehran. The group declared all regional universities legitimate targets until 2 facilities received retaliatory strikes. It advised students and staff to maintain a 1-kilometer distance from American institutions. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Bagheri condemned the systematic targeting of the country's scientific foundation, accusing the US and Israel of using nuclear concerns as a pretext for cultural destruction. US Central Command released updated figures for Operation Epic Fury, confirming over 11,000 strikes and combat flights alongside the destruction of 150 Iranian vessels. Reports indicate the Pentagon is preparing for potential ground operations involving special operation and conventional infantry, as the Trump administration deploys thousands of Marines and paratroopers to the region. Meanwhile, Iranian state media reported a strike on a major water facility in Haftel, although sources remain functional with no reported casualties. The Israeli military confirmed wide-scale waves of strikes this weekend, hitting over 100 ballistic missile production storage sites in Iran and 170 Hezbollah strikes in Lebanon.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Peter Alexander announced his departure from NBC News during the morning telecast of Today.
Sports news on Gold FM.
Royal Challengers Bengaluru cruised to a 6-wicket win over Sunrisers Hyderabad in the Indian Premier League. That's it for now. This is Dulia De Silva for Gold.